But have you ever wondered what holds our world together? It's not just a force, it's the very foundation of everything we know. Imagine a day, not in the distant future, but right now, when that foundation simply vanishes. No warning, no sound, just a sudden, silent absence. This isn't about gravity getting weaker. This is about it ceasing to exist everywhere, all at once. What would happen to our planet, to us? Let's explore the day gravity vanished. In the very first second, the concept of down disappears. You're not standing anymore. You're drifting. A coffee cup on your table doesn't fall. It just releases, its contents pulling into a perfect, floating sphere. Outside, the world is coming undone. Buildings don't collapse in a pile of rubble. They come apart, piece by piece, as if a cosmic hand were disassembling a toy set. Bricks float away from mortar, windows drift from their frames. Trees gently unroot themselves, their leaves scattering like confetti. The planet itself seems to exhale its surface, a great, silent release. For us, the sensation is terrifying. It feels like falling, but there's no ground rushing up to meet you. It's an endless, directionless plunge into nothing. Within a minute, the consequences become apocalyptic. Gravity is the invisible chain that holds our atmosphere to the Earth. Without it, our planet can no longer breathe. The air we depend on, the oxygen, the nitrogen, the precious water vapor, begins to stream into the cold vacuum of space. The sky, our familiar blue ceiling, thins rapidly. It darkens, the stars appearing in the middle of the day before it vanishes completely, leaving only the stark blackness of the void. With no air, there is no medium for sound to travel. A profound, absolute silence descends upon the world. But for any unprotected life, the end is swift. Within 30 to 60 seconds, most land animals, including us, would lose consciousness from lack of oxygen. Within minutes, all life exposed to the new reality suffocates in the silence. Birds don't fall. They scatter, spinning with useless wings before they too are taken by the quiet. Now, let's turn to the oceans, the lifeblood of our planet. Water needs gravity to stay in its basins. Without that constant pull, the seas begin to lift. It's not a violent crash upward, but a gentle, majestic ascent. Entire oceans rise from their beds, fragmenting into colossal, shimmering masses of floating water. Rivers unravel, becoming silvery threads winding their way into the void. Glaciers, those ancient rivers of ice, loosen and drift apart into slow-turning shards. For the creatures within, it's a death not of impact, but of exposure. Trapped in these free-floating bodies of water, their cells rupture in the vacuum. Depending on their proximity to the sun, they either freeze solid or boil away. Looking back at our home from space, the iconic blue marble is gone. Earth is now a dry, pale, and shedding sphere, its waters scattered to the cosmos. The deconstruction continues to the very core of our world. Gravity is the cosmic glue that squeezed dust and rock together to form our planet, and it's what holds it in a sphere. Without it, That glue is gone. The Earth's crust, the very ground beneath our memory of feet, begins to drift apart. The immense tectonic plates, no longer pressed together, separate and float away from each other. At the center of the planet, the molten core, under immense pressure, is finally released. It doesn't explode. It expands outward, a blossoming flower of liquid rock and metal. The planet unravels. Earth ceases to be a world and becomes a rapidly expanding cloud of its own components: rock, metal, magma, ice, and dust. It's no longer a home, but a field of debris carrying the memory of what it once was. Even if, by some miracle, a creature could be protected from the vacuum and the loss of air, could it survive? The answer is a definitive no. Life itself is fundamentally dependent on gravity. Inside the body, blood would no longer circulate properly. Organs, no longer held in their designated places, would lose their orientation and fail to function. At the most fundamental level, our very cells would lose their structure. The delicate processes of life, even DNA replication, would destabilize and fall apart. We didn't just evolve on a planet with gravity, we evolved asterisk because asterisk of it. It's woven into our biology. Without it, life doesn't just die, it becomes biologically impossible. The unraveling extends far beyond our own planet. Gravity isn't just Earth's anchor, it's the architect of the entire cosmos. Our moon, no longer tethered to us, would drift away on a new, lonely path into the solar system. Earth's own journey, its predictable orbit around the sun, would end. Our now disintegrating cloud of debris would fly off on a straight tangent into deep space. And what about the sun? It too is held together by its own immense gravity. Without it, the star itself would begin to disperse, its plasma flying outward in all directions. Across the solar system, planets would abandon their star. Across the galaxy, stars would abandon their orbits. Over millions of years, the grand structures of the universe, galaxies, nebulas, star clusters would slowly dissolve. The cosmos would become thinner, colder, and quieter, not destroyed, but unbound. The final state of this gravity-less universe is not one of fire and fury. There is no grand explosion, no cinematic collapse. The end is separation, a quiet, inexorable letting go. Nothing gathers, nothing orbits, nothing belongs anywhere. It's a universe where the ingredients for existence are all still there, but the instructions for building anything are lost forever. Structure becomes impossible. So, the next time you feel the solid ground beneath your feet or watch rain fall from the sky, take a moment. Gravity is not just a force that keeps us from floating away. It's what allows a planet to form, what gives oceans their shape, what lets blood flow through our veins. It's the silent, constant force that makes home possible. Without it, our world wouldn't be destroyed in anger or violence. It would simply lose the ability to stay together, and so would we. Thanks for joining me on this journey to the edge of physics. If you found this as fascinating as I did, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the cosmos. Stay curious.